First of all, the class of '65. When I learned I was going to McQuaid, it was back in the days where when your father said, "You're going to McQuaid," you went to McQuaid. You didn't have a choice. And coming here, I didn't know what to expect. Could I make it? Could I handle it academically? And I wanted to play sports. Could I do that? Well, the class of '65 turned out to be one of the best athletic classes that ever went through the school. And the kids, everybody in the class, were great guys. We formed a group, the class of '65, and there's 2 tables of them sitting out there that came tonight. And believe it or not, we still get together every other month on a first Friday for lunch. So we formed a great bond in the classroom. Along with that, when I came here, I was in 1D, and we had Father McCaffrey as our homeroom teacher. Father McCaffrey was an old-time Jesuit. He was a Latin teacher, and he really didn't put up with any nonsense. But he liked his boys in 1D, and he used to give us opportunities, volunteer opportunities on Saturday mornings to come in and do some extra Latin work. But if you missed it, you heard about it on the following Monday. But he made you come in. He didn't believe in jug. If you did something in his classroom, you went down to the bookstore, which he ran. And my first experience with that was I forgot a book. I went down to the bookstore. I walked around the bike rack right out here and memorized the first 3 pages of a Latin book in English. And I never forgot a book after that. But he would guide you as to what's coming up. Being a freshman, you didn't know what was going on. And he'd tell you the different things that were going to happen to you during the year. And he'd encourage you to do whatever you could to make it through the school. And like I said, the class of '65 came together as a class. And then there was Mr. Herb Janik. I don't know, a lot of the newer people don't know Herb Janik. Some of the older people do. He was a history teacher, but he also was the freshman football coach and the freshman basketball coach. And I just absolutely admire the guy because he took a group of 40 or 50 guys that didn't know each other, and there wasn't any Pop Warner football or Vince Lombardi football back when we were coming here. So he had to literally start off by showing you how to take a 3-point stance and how to move with a football. And he took us all together, and our freshman year, I believe we were either 7-0 or 7-1. I missed the last game, but during the years, the class of '65 in football, I got to remember, 6, 8, 14. We lost 3 games in 4 years. And that was due in large part to Herb Janik's teaching us the basics, how to block, how to run, how a 3-point stance, how to set up and tackle. Everybody played sandlot football, and you grabbed some guy and just took him down. Well, Mr. Janik taught you how to tackle properly. And I had a friend of mine that we used to play tackle football in the off season in Pittsburgh. And I was talking to him a couple of months ago, and he goes, he said, I remember one game we were playing up behind Lincoln Avenue School in Pittsburgh, and you hit me. I had the ball and you hit me. And all I could think of is, they teach them how to play football at McQuaid. He said nobody ever hit him that hard. But the real thing Herb taught us was in basketball. When we came out for basketball that year, he took the whole group of kids that wanted to play freshman basketball, took us down into the corridors of the South Wing. And for 2 weeks, we did nothing but pass the ball back and forth, dribble the ball, play defense in a hallway. The first time we came up was after about 2 weeks, and we were up in the gym. We had half a gym. And we were up there for 1 day, and then he made his selections. I was lucky enough to be on the first team. Well, we get practicing, and we're up in the gym, and Herb goes, okay, for our offense, we're going to run a freelance offense. Now, I had never played organized basketball. I had no idea what it was. Probably a lot of the kids on the team had no idea what a freelance offense was. But we had a gentleman on our team by the name of Lance Compa. He was a guard, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy must be one heck of a basketball player if we're building our offense around him. So all during practice, we'd get the ball, I'd pass it to Lance, and then set a pick. Pass the ball to Lance, set a pick. This went on for a couple of days, and Mr. Janik came up and said to me, how come you're not taking these layups? You've got open shots and everything. I said, well, I'm doing what you told me to do, freelance. And he goes, no, that isn't what it means. It means there's no set play. But that's the type, that's what we were like. We had no idea what was going on, and he put us together, and as freshmen, we went 17-0. Sophomore year, we had basically the same core of guys, with the exception of Tony Leonardo, who was playing on the varsity. And we went 17-1. We lost by 1 point up in Buffalo to Canisius. They came back down here the following week, and we beat them by 20. But overall, in basketball, we only lost 10 games in 4 years, 4 of which were against New York City teams where the guards were bigger than our starting center. And we got down there, we played in the Fordham Prep Fathers basketball tournament, and we were always the sacrificial lamb for Fordham Prep. We got down there in our junior year, and we got our fannies tagged. And we went down our senior year, and who was the timekeeper for Fordham Prep but Herb Janik? He had transferred. So we all went over and we talked to him, and we dedicated the tournament to him, just among our own team. We didn't tell our coach that. And we went out and beat Fordham Prep. And then we beat Brooklyn Prep. And then we came up against Regis High and got our fanny tagged. So we finished second in the tournament, but when we beat Fordham Prep, we all looked over at the scorer's table, and Herb was just sitting there with a grin on from ear to ear. But he took, again, a bunch of people that didn't know each other and made a team out of it. And that team followed all the way along. And that's my big remembrance of McQuaid, is it made me a member of a community and of a team. And it's always been my pleasure to be part of the McQuaid community. So I thank you very much for the honor, and good night.